Hello, friends. I'm making this video because I believe that everyone can do what I just did, what I just experienced. Um, I'm tired, so forgive me. If you're new here, my name is Sadie Smiley. I just got back from a psychic mediumship class, and this is not the first one I've taken. I took one what is today? Thursday? Today's Thursday. I took one on Monday. Had an interesting experience there too, but today was different. Um, so we got paired up with someone that we had never met before, and the goal was to get a message from that person's deceased loved one. So the first person that I teamed up with, I don't even know what her name was. I don't know. She gives me a picture, and it's three men. And I'm like, okay, which one? And she goes, all of them. I'm like, okay, who are they? Like, just trying to get a feel for things. And she was like, my brothers. And so obviously a lot of heavy energy. You have three brothers and you lost all three of them. But immediately I smelled like a tire smell, I'm not really good with cars, but like the smell that you would smell if somebody was working on a car in a garage, that smell. So like tires mixed with oil, just boy smells. And I got that smell and I was like, I don't know, it's not making sense. That was the first thing that came through. And then the middle boy, middle as in the picture, I think he was actually the youngest. He told me the number 17. And she told me that his birthday was on the 17th. And then I tried to tap into the brother that was on the right, and he was just like, no, everybody thinks I'm a troublemaker. I'm really not, but I'm always getting in trouble. And so I conveyed that to her, and she said that he was the kindest person, biggest heart, but he was an addict. So that fit. People saw him, as a troublemaker, bad guy. And then went over and I kept saying, like, I feel water, like a lake. And the brother on the left, she said he was obsessed with fishing. And then the tire smell and the oil smell, like, it just kept coming back. And I was like, I'm getting like a racetrack. I don't know. And and then the smells, and come to find out, the brother on the left, he built go-karts and raced them. So it was really cool. It was very interesting. To start off, I was just like, please just spirit dudes connect with me so I have something to say. Like, I was just like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. So I did that. And then the second person I matched with, he showed me a picture. It was his brother, and then somebody, I don't know if it was his mom, or I don't know, it was somebody there, and then him, and then his sister. And I immediately got like this smell of, at first I said like a perfume. It was like a flowery perfume, but it wasn't like a strong perfume smell. It was more of a flowery smell. So I was like, oh, it's flowers. And then it wasn't a flower I liked, which I didn't want to tell him, like, yo, I'm smelling bad flowers. So I was just kind of like, smelling flowers, I don't know. And he's like, we were at a funeral in this picture. Now, mind you, most people, like, I would have been able to tell that they were at a funeral, but his sister was wearing, it was a black dress, but it had like flowers all over it. And then his other sister, or whoever the lady was, maybe his mom, the other lady, she, I think, was wearing like a green dress. So it wasn't like funeral attire. And there was no indication. There was just palm trees in the background. So that was interesting. They were at the funeral, and then I told him that, I started tasting, and I was like, it's kind of like a limeade lemonade. I was like, no, it's a margarita. Like, I was trying to dance around the bush and like say, oh, it's kind of sweet, kind of sour, but I was like, no, it's a margarita. And he said that he didn't drink, but after the funeral, they went wherever, I don't know, home or wherever, but he started making margaritas, and he did a terrible job. So his brother took over. So it was very oddly specific, but pretty cool. And then I was trying to kind of dig a little bit to get info from his brother because he wasn't really saying a whole lot. And I was like, is he just like secretive? Did he have some secrets? And he was like, yeah, he was very secretive. He was I think he said a homicide detective for 30 years or something. And then another thing that I got was the sister. She said she was so thankful that he was so protective of her. And that didn't really mean anything like huge. He did say, yes, I was protective, blah, blah, blah. But afterwards, he had partnered up with another lady and she did a reading for him as well. She got the same message. She said that he was very protective of her and the brother was very secretive. And I also got the number 6. I was like, how old was she when she passed? Like, this doesn't make sense. Was she 60? Why am I only getting a 6? And he said that she was the baby of the family. She was like probably in her 50s when she passed, but the 6 was she got diagnosed with some sort of terminal illness. I didn't ask, but the doctors gave her 6 months to live. So that's why the 6 came through. I think that's everything that came through, but as I'm sharing this awakening journey, I want to share like the things that I'm doing too, like the practices and that kind of thing. So automatic writing is one thing that really helps me with connecting, channeling, mediumship, whatever you want to call it. And we're doing this tomorrow. I'm leading a group exercise at my house for automatic writing, so I'm really excited about that. But going to the mediumship classes, I didn't even mean to. Like, I thought that the class I was going to 3 Mondays ago was a psychic class. It said psychic mediumship. I didn't know what mediumship meant. I just saw psychic and got excited and went. And then we show up and she's like, oh, we're going to talk to dead people. And I was like, what the? Like, I've never been interested in talking to, past loved ones and that kind of thing. It's never been my thing. And then I went back this last week. It was a very interesting experience. I'm pretty sure the person before me had an experience with my father. And then he came through to me as well during that exercise. But then tonight, it was just a completely different thing. Like, I don't know, they literally were just like usually I like get the message, like it's like a download and then I say it. This time it was just like, it was there. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm sharing because I feel like if you're interested in this, if I can do this, anybody can, because I didn't even know what mediumship was a few weeks ago. And now apparently that's what I'm doing. I didn't know anything about aliens 6 months ago. And now look, I'm wearing an alien shirt and alien earrings, and my shoes aren't here, but I have alien shoes. Hyper focus for the win. So I just want to encourage you that if you are like, wow, this is a lot, or I don't have those gifts, like, I think everyone can do this. You just have to practice. You just have to lean into it. And the biggest thing I can tell you with mediumship is just like, turn your brain off. Just let it do what it does. Turn it off. And you will get those messages. So good luck. I would love to hear about your experiences if you do start working on this kind of stuff. So leave me a message, come hang out in my school group, all the things.